So Christian, we commissioned you to write a new piece, especially for the Fredericton 175th anniversary concert we're doing with Atlantic Symphonia. How do you feel about being asked to do that?
I'm very excited. It's a huge privilege whenever you have a group of highly trained musicians who are willing to perform something that you've created. It's a big collaboration and it's a really exciting opportunity. So rare and wonderful, and I couldn't say no.
That's terrific, and we're really great you accepted the opportunity. Did you think of a particular approach to start this kind of a commissioned piece for an event, I suppose, like this?
Well, there were a few, I guess, not constraints, but sort of ideas, and one of them was it's going to be played with a bunch of historical repertoire, so I didn't want to make something that was a really esoteric, new music piece that would, be alienating. So I immediately said, well, let's make this approachable. Tunes that, well, some of them you could hum in the shower, I think. And so there was an idea to make it a little bit more accessible and a little bit more fun and celebratory. So there were, certain ideas I had in mind. There's a slow middle section that gets a little bit more introspective, but overall I think that it's a pretty upbeat piece, so that was something. Rehearsals, there's never that much time, so also you don't want a score that takes somebody 6 years of study to understand. So the notation, the score had to be something that was pretty approachable and doable in a short time span. But other than that, it was really just a matter of coming up with ideas and putting them together, and purely musical. I think I thought of having extra musical content, like historical connections and that sort of thing. I decided not to, because it's an instrumental piece, and I think there's a limit. I mean, as much as composers often will say, well, this piece really represents, this or that, I think there's a limit to how much it really does, and so I focused on the musical ideas.
Okay, and was there a specific musical inspiration as you started thinking about what the content was going to be?
I went through a lot of string orchestra repertoire, and so a lot of things that were quite inspiring. Mostly, I really gravitate toward early 20th century stuff. I mean, Vaughan Williams, the Tallis variations, really. I mean, that's for a huge, double string orchestra, so much bigger forces. But
Yes.
Bartók's Divertimento, Richard Strauss, lots of great pieces, and so there was that. But I'm somebody who's not necessarily of one particular camp. I'm kind of omnivorous, I guess. When I listen to music, I'm listening to all sorts of things. So the very opening, I was thinking of Les Claypool in the very beginning of Primus's Sailing the Seas of Cheese. The bum, 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 bum. There's this kind of gnarly double bass.
Sure.
And that was the first thing that came into my head, and so there's some of that. The middle section, the modes, it was a mode that I came up with, but it ended up feeling a little bit Scriabin-ish, messing. So there are lots of different, and there was a lot of movie music kicking around in my head. I really like movie music, and I've written a bunch of short film scores, so lots of things ended up sort of informing the piece. So you can't say it's exactly categorized as this genre, because I think it's got a lot of different ideas in it.
Join us August 8th at Christchurch Cathedral. Doors open at 7 o'clock and the show starts at 7:30. This event is free for all and fun for the whole family. We hope to see you there.